This episode is sponsored by Squarespace. I used Squarespace to build both Basics with Babish and BingingWithBabish.com. On the sites, you'll find recipes, equipment lists, other news, and updates. All beautifully designed, if I do say so myself. Get 10% off your first Squarespace order by visiting squarespace.com/babish.
Oh, how do you like it?
It's delicious and totally authentic. I didn't realize how much I missed Water Tribe grub.
That's great, because this is my favorite joint. See, you love Water Tribe food, I love Water Tribe food. Just another reason we are so great together.
There are good noodles.
Hello there, welcome back to another episode of Anime with Alvin. Today we'll be making the Water Tribe noodles from the Legend of Korra, a dish that features green noodles in a clear broth. This is spinach. Due to the fact that this is the Water Tribe, we're going to be taking a seafood and vegetable heavy approach today for this dish. And I'd wager that the people of that tribe are a resourceful bunch, not letting anything go to waste. So we have here the bones and carcass of a codfish. This gets seasoned and marinated rather quickly with a pinch of salt and about 2 tablespoons of Chinese cooking wine. This is a pretty common technique in Chinese cuisine to eliminate the raw or fishiness of the fish. That's it aside for about just 5 to 10 minutes or so. For aromatics, I'm slicing up about 2 1-inch knobs of ginger and cutting 3 green onions into roughly 3-inch pieces. Pretty large chunks here. Into a large pan goes in about a tablespoon of oil. The ginger and scallions are fried just until they're slightly aromatic, not overcooked. Then the fish goes in. Water floods the pot until just enough to cover, then brought to a boil and then reduced to a gentle simmer. This goes for about 30 to 45 minutes so that the fish's flavor can infuse the broth and any scum to the surface can be removed. After a simple sieve through a mesh strainer, we have nicely clean, fresh, aromatic fish stock. For the spinach noodles, we're going to start on the stove with a cup of hot water and 3 cups of spinach. After the spinach cooks down and shrinks down to a pile of almost nothing, this gets strained and thrown into a blender. A tablespoon of the spinach cooking water helps this blend into somewhat of a spinach puree, which does take some aggressive blending to make sure the fibers are all pulverized. For the dough, we're starting with 2 cups of all-purpose flour dumped onto a workable surface. I forgot one step. Go back. This goes back into the bowl so we can go ahead and add our dry ingredients, which is a teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of spirulina or kelp powder. I'm guessing since the Water Tribe has access to a lot of seaweed, they'd be able to turn this into many different forms, one of which is a dried powder that we can use. After slamming the blender to get out every little bit of pureed spinach from inside it, that gets dumped in as well. This gets kneaded by hand until the dough is smooth and green, about 5 to 10 minutes. And because this dough is rather fun and spongy to work with, I asked Rachel to also help me knead a little bit, so she could feel the joy of this dough. Rachel is an incredibly culinary talented person that helps us with pretty much everything we do here on the show. And once she's worked her magic on this dough, we have a nice, beautiful green, slightly speckled ball of dough that is soft and springy to the touch. This is actually a Chinese spinach noodle method that my grandpa used to do. And at this stage, this green ball of dough gets rested for about 15 minutes, wrapped up of course. Once the gluten has some time to chill out, this gets divided into a couple of dough sections, flattened, and with our pasta machine, rolled out until it's about 1/8 of an inch thick. After going through the settings, I like to fold it over each other and do the whole process again, just so that the gluten is laminating itself. This creates a firmer, bouncier noodle that I personally prefer in my noodle dishes. We're using the fettuccine attachment today, as the noodles from the show do look quite thick, and I enjoy a nice thick noodle for mouthfeel. Once all of the dough has been turned into little strands of green goodness, they get dusted with a little bit of flour so they don't stick to each other too much. And then we return back to the stove. Since these are fresh noodles, they only need to cook in a pot of salted boiling water for approximately 2 minutes before they're tender. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and fish out these noodles with this scooper. Oh yeah, that was supposed to go in first. Okay. Once all of the noodles have been cooked thoroughly and the color has changed ever so slightly, it's time to serve. A large ladle full of the clear stock is the bath in which our noodles will go hang out in. There's something about naturally colored food that makes me want to eat it just a bit more. And just wiggling around these green noodles and watching them shine in the light got me a little hungry. I'm not really quite sure how to explain it, but this just tastes right. It just tastes like a nice fish stock with good noodles. That's simply it. Nothing crazy. And it definitely feels like something that the Water Tribe would eat on a day-to-day basis. It's cheap, easy to make, resourceful, but overall very, very comforting. It feels like something my grandparents would make. And if they were here today, I'm sure they'd like the bowl I made as well.
Thanks again to Squarespace for sponsoring today's episode. They've been a great partner in supporting the Babish culinary universe and bringing my websites to life. From websites to online stores to domains and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform for you to build your online presence. They also have SEO tools so that your site is getting found and searched by more people more often. If you want to try it for yourself, you can start your free trial today by visiting squarespace.com/babish to get 10% off your first purchase.